So today I want to talk about the novel writer's worst nightmare, query letters. So the first thing that I want to make clear is that before you ever think of querying agents, finish the novel. Don't just finish the first draft, finish the second draft, proofread it, maybe do a third and fourth draft. You want to make sure your novel is at its very best before you even think of querying an agent, because as far as I can tell, each agent gets a ton of queries every single day. And whether or not you have this shining personality and this great social media plan, it doesn't even really matter. What matters is that the writing in the sample that you have to send with each query letter has to be at least compelling enough to draw them in, or they're never going to ask to see more. So let's say that you have done 4 or 5 drafts of a novel and you're ready to bang your head against the wall because you just can't do anything else to it. Now is the time whenever you should research agents. The easiest way to start researching agents is to find an author or authors, preferably authors, that you are similar to and see who represents them and delve more from there. There's always the search Google option of just typing in agents for blah blah blah, whatever your genre is, and then seeing what pops up. And there's nothing wrong with doing that. But if you start with an author that you either know well enough to know that your work is like theirs or that you admire, then you're going to feel a lot more excited and a lot more comfortable querying their agent. I'm not saying you're going to get their agent. I'm also not saying you're even going to get a nice rejection from that agent, but it's a good place to start. So let's say that you have a list of agents and you've got a list of like 25 or so, because I have to tell you that no matter how great your writing is or how wonderful your book is, in all likelihood you're going to get rejected a lot. That's the writer's life, really. We get rejected a lot. It's uncomfortable and it's sad and it's really upsetting, but it's just something we all have to deal with. So just get you a box of chocolate ready because it's going to happen. So you take that list of 25 or so agents and you start researching how to write a query letter. The query letter is a really specific format and it's a serious pain in the butt. Again, you can just Google search query letters and figure out the basic format if you want to. If you're looking for a place to start, Query Shark is really good about helping you nitpick query letters, and agentquery.com has a formula for query letters that I really like as a jumping off point. It gives you possible ways to formulate the synopsis that you have to do, to at least know where to begin. I mean, query letters are terrifying, so just knowing where you can kind of go into the shallow end of the pool and swim around a little is going to be really helpful. Particularly if you don't have anybody who's been through the query letter process before that you can send your query letter to and not feel like somebody is judging you, then I suggest going to a forum where other writers can help you try to make your query letter not boring and to stick out from the slush pile, because like I said earlier, there are tons of query letters coming to these agents every single day, so yours has to stand out in a good way. So let's say that you get your query letter to a place where you don't actually want to vomit when you read it, then now is the time to take that list of 25 or so agents that you got before and start sending out query letters. Now, what I've done to make this more bearable for me is to send it out in batches. So once a week, I take a batch of 5 agents or so, and I send out a query letter to each one of those agents. And that's just one of the things that I do in the morning with my cup of coffee, and then I feel a little nauseated, and so I don't really want to eat breakfast, and then I wait about 30 minutes, and then I want to eat the entire pantry. And I do that once a week for at least a solid month, and then I give them a little time to wait, because agents have different waiting times for when they'll respond back to you, and you don't want to get all of those rejection letters at the exact same time. Make sure that even if you're sending out these query letters in batches, that you're not sending them all in one email, and you're not sending them a form. You want those agents to know that you researched them and that you chose to send your query to them for a reason. Make it personal, because if they are the ones representing you, it'll be personal. The very last tip that I'm going to give you on this, as somebody who's going through the process right now, is not to give up. Even if you've queried your dream agent and they've rejected you, it's not the end. It's just not a pleasant sensation. Now, to be clear, I don't have an agent yet, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. I'm just trying to kind of help other people get a starting point for this, because it's terrifying, and particularly for somebody who's young and trying to do this on her own in Arkansas where there's not very much resources, I figured there might be somebody else out there who doesn't really know where to start either. So this is for you. And that's all that I have for you today. So I hope you have a great week. Bye! Hello! So this is normally the part of the video where I give you bloopers, but instead I want to tell you that I've decided to start using my other channel, which originally was my personal channel, and this was going to be my collab channel, and then that didn't really work. So instead I'm going to use that channel for the beauty videos that I've been wanting to make. I know that a lot of the people who subscribed to this channel originally came here for stuff about books and writing and occasionally cooking and vlogging because I love vlogging. And I don't want that audience to feel like they have to sit through my beauty videos just because I want to make them. So I have started that channel off with a video today, so you can go watch that and see if you're interested in watching any more. I'll leave links to that in the doobly-doo, and I will see you next week. Bye!